We just got huge One Piece news for us over in the West with the reveal of the Treasure Rare card for Set 7. If you guys don't know, we have a little bit of a difference with our packs here in the West versus in the East. In the East, they have what is called a God Pack, where they can open up every single alt art leader card from that set in a single pack. We get the Treasure Rare, which is a single card. I believe it's possible of one per case. And this is the new Treasure Rare for Set 7, the Law Blocker. If you're not familiar with it from the original ST10. It was pulled by Pop Chasers over on Twitter, and I'm already seeing a lot of mixed opinions on this card, on Treasure Rares as a whole. People want God Packs, and I understand that. Does this card live up to the hype for a Treasure Rare? Personally, I love it. I love Law as a character. It looks very nice. The card doesn't see a ton of play going into Set 7, I believe. Red Purple Law doesn't really even use it too much past Sakazuki ban. So are we going to see too much play for this card? Probably not. So what is the price going to look like for one of these? We already know that we had a Treasure Rare Nami from Set 6, and people were not happy with it. They were very disappointed, and the price very much showed that. A very rare card turned into a very cheap card. I wasn't a huge hater of it, but I understand that people were a little bit disappointed not getting the God Pack, getting very different and unique artwork for Nami, but we can see the price for it has already just plummeted. You know, I actually was very lucky to pull one of these in pre-release out of my packs, and I was excited. Of course, we saw outlandish prices, you know, $500-$600 were listings. I don't know how many actually sold for that, but the card quickly plummeted to around $100, and now it's sitting at about $50. Will Law be more expensive? Possibly. Is a card that at least might see a little play. You know, the Nami doesn't even see play, so it is purely most likely a collector's piece. And people were very hit or miss about the artwork on this. You know, it's very different. It's very different, very unique compared to a lot of other cards. But the Law looks very clean. The Law looks very nice. So if you're a fan of Law, this might be something you want to have in your collection. Again, it is still very rare, very rare. I feel like not as rare as people might have thought originally with the Treasure Rares. As, like I said, I pulled one from pre-release. I pulled another from a box. Maybe I'm just lucky, but I think the price for Nami not only shows that people weren't the biggest fan of the art, but also the fact that it was not super uncommon to get. Definitely less rare than a manga card. You know, a lot of people were saying this might even be one per case, where originally people thought might be one every few cases, every couple cases. I know a lot of people were pulling one per case, so I don't think the Treasure Rares are as rare as people initially thought when Set 6 released, as, you know, very quickly shown in the price. I feel like a lot of people pulled them very quickly at the beginning. You know, Set 7 already does have a lot of issues with availability of product, however. So we're already seeing a lot less product that you can pre-order, a lot less pre-release tournaments I've seen personally from my local game stores. So this card might be a bit more rare, at least at first, until we see more stock come out for Set 7. So if you pull one of these early, the value might stay a little bit higher for a little bit longer than we saw with the Nami card. Again, just by the sheer fact that there's going to be a lot less product that is being opened for Set 7. We already knew months and months ago that Set 7 was going to be a lot harder to get a hold of, a lot less product. Stores aren't going to be selling boxes as much, packs as much. Again, I know some of my local game stores had to limit the amount of pre-release tournaments they had because they just didn't have product to host as many as they're accustomed to. So this card might be just a little bit more rare because of that fact. But I want to know, are you happy with this artwork? Are you happy with Treasure Rares? Are you a fan of this card, of Law in general? Again, I think the card is super nice, super great. Definitely want one in my collection. It is a little bit sad to see there's still no God Pack for us over in the West. I just think it is super hyped to pull all of the alt arts in one pack. It's definitely a cool and unique experience, but however, it does mean that our alt art leaders will retain a bit of their value for a bit longer. Of course, the value of a card isn't the biggest issue in the world, especially with alts. Of course, you can get any leader that you want from the set probably day one if you're just looking for that common leader card. But if you are looking to build a collection, keep the value of a collection, having god packs in the mix definitely means that the alt art leaders would be a lot cheaper, even though the god packs themselves are super rare. So what do you want to see more? Are we going to continue seeing treasure rares? Yes, most likely now that we've got it for another set, for set 7 being revealed, we're probably going to continue seeing treasure rare cards instead of god packs. But is that something that you are happy about, disappointed? Do you like this card? Does it look nice? I think so, but I know it's not the thing for everybody. People want probably some different cards. You know, there could have been a lot of other choices for cards for the treasure rare. I don't know what we would have loved to see. There's so many cards you could have chose from, but Seeing Law is just an interesting one. Again, it's a card that we're probably not going to see too much play. As soon as set 7 comes out, this card gets dropped from Irreparable Law, and there's not too many other purple decks in the meta that would be using this. Maybe Purple Luffy. I know with some of the support for purple in general coming out, maybe this card might see a little bit of play in Purple Luffy, but in Red Purple Law, the top tier, most represented meta deck that's at almost every regionals and every tournament, this card is not going to be really used in set 7. That Sanji blocker that comes out, so much better in terms of a blocker in a card, and this card just doesn't see that much play, unfortunately. But as a collector standpoint, definitely a cool card. Love the artwork, but let me know. Were you able to pull any of the treasure rare Namis from set 6? Are you excited for this treasure rare coming in set 7? I think it'll be nice to pull one, definitely not something that I'll hunt down, most likely. Interested to see if the availability of set 7 will impact this price. Maybe just the fact that the card looks probably more appealing to a wider audience than the Nami treasure rare that we got in set 6 might also help that as well. But again, let me know what you think of treasure rares in general, of the differences that we get over here in the West versus in the East, and if you're excited to possibly pull this card in set 7. And make sure to subscribe, because I'll definitely be trying to open up as much set 7 on the channel as I possibly can get my TCG player hands on, because I want so many cards from this set. It seems like a great set to open, if not for the lack of stock. Of course, let me know what you think of this card down in the comments, and I'll see you all in set 7. Bye-bye.